All right. Today, down day, down almost 100. So we just want to see how far this rabbit hole is going to go. We've talked already, said if it's going to break what has previously been resistance now becomes support. We're right at pretty much this last little pivot point right here. If you want to say that maybe the low of was it 15,865, 15,860, a little bit under that. So let's say we look at what the actual percentage was of the move of the retracement so far. The actual percentage of the retracement is about 1%. Okay, so that's not a huge retracement um, at all, actually. So you have, let's look at when it moved up. It moved up all the way and it was 2%. So you have a 1% retracement. Um, am I nervous about this? No. I mean, at the end of the day, if you even put the fibs on there, you see that pretty much that 38 is right about where this channel top is. And we've been talking about this channel top for this channel for a long time. And if you look at the weekly, again, make sure that you don't miss the big picture to say, okay, remember this is not closed yet. So it's only Tuesday going into Wednesday, I believe. Yes. So, um, we'll see how this candle ends up, but at the end of the day, I'm seeing it as just a retracement to continue to the upside until it is proven wrong. I don't even have, we already talk about, over the past couple of days, we're talking about 8, 9 weeks in a row of being up on the weekly. We're expecting some type of break, but there was a good quote. Actually, I think it was by Livermore or somebody like that. And I saw it and I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. So there's more money lost percentage wise trying to short the retracement than what the actual percentage of the retracement is. So there's a lot of money in people's account that's going to be, people are going to want to go short, 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 short. And they've been caught every time when there's just a retracement. So you just got to be patient and kind of see what's going on. But you have seen a volume dry up a little bit over the last couple of weeks. And we kind of just have to see where this is going to go at the end of the day. So, you want to make sure that you're still looking at these time frames, and we see that we had sideways consolidation on the monthly. We had a close above, and we'll just see where this goes from there. So again, the month is very early, so don't even look at this candle, but you could just say, listen, over the last 3 months we've been going up and we've seen this sideways consolidation for a while. Let's look at let's look at the composite. Same thing. Let's again look at the percentage just to keep everything relative. It's less than 1%. So it's not really that big of a retracement. Again, resistance. Is it now going to become support? This isn't even under the 10. Let me see if the Dow Jones was actually, I think the Dow Jones was actually under the 10 MA. So we'll just wait for that one to see if we're going to get some type of setup. But then the composite, we're pretty much going to say that pretty much the same thing. When we look on the higher time frames, we're going to say from the weekly, it's still stair stepping all the way up. So we're not going to try to guess if this is going to be the top or the bottom. That's just not the game that we play. So the Russell, again, it's right at the 10. You still got MACD bullish. It hasn't crossed over as yet. And we'll just see if it's going to hold. We can see from the, we have this channel, so we knew that we're at the top of the channel. Okay, we could see that. And again, I'm not going to go short on this. And if you do, just make sure you're nimble. You're not looking, if you're a long-term trader, if you're looking to say I'm buying and holding something, this is not the time to buy and hold if you're looking to basically short the retracements, these areas. Okay, it makes it hard. It's a hard trade to do. So you have to be nimble, take profits, and understand what you're doing. Okay, so on the weekly, we did see this wedge that we were talking about on the S&P 500, and now that it's breaking down, but we see a hammer here now. Now here's the thing about Japanese candlesticks, and this is something that was, it actually something because I used to be a heavy person into the candlesticks. I saw a hammer, I was good to go. I saw engulfing, let's say a bear engulfing pattern, I would instantly go short. But if it's the opposite of the trend, most of the time I was getting a little bit from the next follow through days, and then it would just pretty much squeeze me out. So with that being said, I don't know where this is going to go. If it goes lower than the the low of 1787, then we can say, okay, um, if it breaks that and closes below it, then we say, okay, now but if we get an update tomorrow and it recaptures the 10 to the update, then we just continue to go higher, and it is what it is. So um, you have the small body candle from last week, and now you just, again, if you're looking at the weekly, if you're looking at a higher time frame, this still doesn't scream bearish to me. So it is what it is. So, just let's look at some names. So Apple actually was saying FU to the bears, and actually, continues to go higher. So this is a great move. And if you were holding from here, congratulations for holding all the way through, because you're still getting paid on some of your runners. You have Google. Google again. Are we going to see this previous uh, res, resistance now become support and bounce up? Got to see. This was something that I posted actually on my lunchtime watch list, because remember, at one point, this is why I like to see the candles close, especially on the weekly or on any time frame. If I'm trading it, is because this at one time was all green. That's why I was saying it's setting up. But the goal of what I post around lunchtime is to see where it's going to close and just have something on your watch list to kind of look at, to see if it's looking good. Tesla squeezing the bejesus out of people. I didn't know that it was going to, if you look at the right, and remember, don't beat yourself up because you didn't see this, because this was yesterday. Okay? This was yesterday. How the hell are you gonna know it's gonna pop up tomorrow? I mean, yeah, you could have said, okay, now the volume is weakening as well to the downside, but you also had the up volume, the green volume also weakening. You could only trade the right side of the chart. Sometimes this stuff happens, and a lot of people that took the profits of this, were probably, intraday looking as well. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but you can only trade the right side of the chart. So right here, right now, if it clears and continues to the upside, the 50, it could be a net. It could, let's look at the let's look at the weekly. I mean, again, is this just a dead cat bounce to continue to the downside? We have to see. At least it can recapture this 10 on the weekly before we start looking at the daily to say, okay, if we get up, we get a little flag or something like that, and then we can continue to the upside, then it can fill this gap. That's not a problem at all. But don't just let this one day say I'm balls to the wall. I'm back in it to chase stuff. Solar City, this might be something that you could look at. Maybe if it clears above these highs, that's a previous resistance point around this area right here. So we'll see if it's able to punch through that. Facebook is just needs to do something. I don't know if it's squeeze pop up or pop down. We just got to, only time will tell. So let's see if it can get above, if you're aggressive, you can get above this high of 47.54. You could continue to the upside. Okay, so you just have to see. The banks took a little beating today. Let's look at Twitter. I actually, all right, this one didn't. Again, the low wasn't broken. 40.40 wasn't broken. So, I still like to have a little bit more stuff to really trade off than this. So I'm just gonna leave this one alone. I'll let it pretty much bake and do what it needs to do. What other names can we look at? We look at Baidu is setting up. Baidu right now, I mean, I would just want to see it. It's gotten above this previous point that we had regarding this distribution candle. It's gotten above that, and let's see if it can push above and continue. So let's see what tomorrow's price action might be. If it can break above the high, it might be a good look to continue to go higher, because I would definitely give it some fresh new highs, and then this could be something that could be viewed as a cup per se, and maybe a little handle. The handle's kind of sloppy on the monthly, but on the weekly, maybe a cup and crazy handle or whatever, but it's going to new highs. So keep that in mind and just look at this zone we've been talking about for a little while, and see where it is. The banks took a little beating today. Bank of America, Citigroup down, Goldman Sachs down, but not looking that bad. Prudential, one that I was looking at, it gave a shooting star and then continued down. One I talked about yesterday's video, CBOE, followed through to the downside in a major way. from the shooting star going down. So that probably was a profitable trade for some people. Price line, still, I'm just waiting. It's just, it doesn't look bad to me at all. I'm just waiting for some type of price confirmation. I'm not going to try to catch it to say, okay, buy the dip blindly. I'm kind of going to wait for that. And you have Amazon as well. Again, just waiting patiently. Something that I posted that looks good is actually New Skin. Looks good. Away looks good. And ECPG. This one maybe is just a really aggressive trade. So I don't know if I'm gonna mess with that. Here's another one that I've been looking at, gas one that looks good. S Fund would continue to just rock. So okay, so I'm just gonna cut that off from here. But you know, if you like what you see, make sure you look on the Twitter because I do post out. I think I posted out about 10 names and they could follow up and look good. So check the Twitter feed and you'll see which ones it is. So take care and trade them well.